This is an image of the moon Miranda, shown by Dr. Bergrun in that conference, Remakers of Saturn. I didn't understand this image for a long time. I saw the object that he described in the image, but I see now a lot more that he did not understand and couldn't describe, and I observe now a lot more than he could ever. Now look at this part right here. Look at that. That shape of hands, the geometrical shape of hand is all over this picture. To begin with, look, these white parts right here, those are fingers. Look, it's showing in different colors. Some are bright, some are dark, but all the shapes are the same shape. Now look at the vertical tubes that I did outlines here. Look at it. Let me take the writing off. Look at the tubes. They go straight up into the vehicle. Look, start right here. Right here. Look what the deal start right there. And they're part of the geometry is attached to the vehicles in a translucent way into the surface of the moons. This translucent geometry is permeate throughout the entire solar system and possibly throughout the entire universe. We don't, I mean, I couldn't understand none of this long ago, 2 years back. After 15 years, from 2000 to 2015, I didn't understand none of this. It's only the past 3 years is that I finally cracked that shape, and it's on everything, look. And the way the things are done is so, I mean, it's only God could create something like that. This vehicle has this, the front part of it has this thing right here where the electromagnetic tornadic looking energy comes down like this. He has a picture in the book showing how this is geometrical directing. How in the heck you can create plasma energy that has geometry in it? Well, it's not because of the plasma itself, it's the geometry, the translucent structure is what this thing permeates through it. This called here the mustache of the vehicle. This right here. But the vehicle is right up here. It has these prongs like that. It's like a, but this is not the prong, this is energy flowing out. This is electromagnetic energy flowing out. Oh. And this is the body of that object right here. Oops, I made it really crooked. Look, right here. That's the object. And it gets thicker in the back. From the middle towards the back, it gets thicker. Right there. So this is the cylindrical object, the main object. There's several of them right there. It's like that, tubular. But it has this device in the front that shoots it. But this is the curious part. These tubes that you see on the moon too, these tubes right here, it goes straight down. You can see the entire picture is filled with those tubes, vertical tubes that come from the object itself or go through the object. You can see it right here too. Look, right there. And that's not any image stitching, no, it has nothing to do with that. Look, there it is. It gets thicker. See, look at that. And then you see these rings. They look like rings. Then you see this tube thing right here. I mean, it's so complex in this, just this picture is so complex. And look, this looks like a pair of eyes right here. Oops, like that. And you see the pupil. For a long time, I believe that those were eyes that were made to look like faces. There's none of that. It has nothing to do with any eyes. It's just the geometry is like that. The geometry of hand shapes, grabbing something, I don't know, but it's used on everything. And you can see it right here, the same thing. And the other, but look at this piece right here that goes like that. I mean, it's a very complex kind of structure, or possibly an object, an electromagnetic vehicle. But you can see that here, this is a fingernail like that, from a finger, because that's the shape that is used for everything. And then you can see that there's fingers grabbing hands. This is difficult for people to even consider or accept or think about. You know, this dude lost his marbles, and no, I didn't. It's just that I observe images really close and study them methodically. Look at these tubes that goes here. There is some technology that is beyond our comprehension being used to modify all those moons. Look at this thing right here. Well, what do you think that is? It looks like that, and it has this, and then there is another one, and it has this thing in the middle. What do you think that is? I'll pose the question to you guys. Think about it. It's just that this is a very complex image. There's all kinds of stuff going on there. But you see the geometry, all these tubes, vertical tubes that are, I mean, there's so many right there. I mean, you can, some are short, some are long, but they all attach to things there in the surface of that moon, or this part of this moon. They're doing stuff, transforming, creating, modifying. There's a lot of stuff there. I don't know what they're doing that, what for, but I know that there is some work being done there. And then you see these strange protruding rectangular deals that look like tiny pyramids. There's no pyramids at all. It's just some part of a mechanical thing used for the work they're doing. See all these tubes? It goes like that, and then, you know, they go on top, behind, underneath. There is some major technology here, but some technology that we just have no clue what the heck they are or what they're doing. Down here, look, it looks like a dinosaur head right here. And it looks like those are the teeth, the mouth, and the teeth. In fact, it's none of that. It has nothing to do with any of that. You can see tubes going right here. There's other tube going here and there. And this shape, all with the shape of fingernails. And so that is, in the end, that has the geometrical shape that I'm talking about. I thought that was some kind of animal, because it looked like that's an eye. The eye is some vertical pupil or something. It's none of that. Because when you see this right here, make it yellow. And then you see that is some other stuff here that is overpowered by the brightness, is overexposed to death. Probably because the energy is so intense in that area. Look at how white it is. Even after I lowered the brightness in the image, see, even with the camera, you cannot tell what's there. Only if you reverse the image. So that's what a Photoshop expert could recover this image. And that's what I think he was sabotaged during that conference. They could have done this much clearer and better and do a lot of stuff, but no, they didn't do none of that. The images were blurry, they were in the wrong sequence. So I think somebody told him, man, you better mess up this deal and don't let it. And they tried to poison him a few days after that conference, Remakers of Saturn, based on that book he wrote. In the book, they have a lot of original photo plates from the Voyager and Apollo. And you can see, man, images of things there. And he showed how the Jupiter Moon was burned on one side by those electromagnetic vehicles using high plasma. They soften the surface with that intense energy, heat, and then use low frequency to lift up the sculptures. And that's something that he knows playing on this conference. But this picture right here should tell you how complex and the technology is being used and how far out in you have to know. I mean, only a godlike entity could know something that's so far advanced. And NASA doesn't want to show any of this. That's why they were angry at Dr. Bergrun for showing this truth. Oh, he showed an astronaut imitation on the moon that, to the Apollo 12. They showed him another astronaut holding a flag, and it wasn't a real astronaut. It was just an imitation. Well, why? That's the question. Then they show them a landing module, a fake landing module imitation too. And then that thing turned into some bizarre looking deal. But now I know what that was. It was a hand-shaped thing, but it looked so weird that you wouldn't be able to make a sense